Six-time Winter Olympian and the member of the IOA's Athletes Commission, Shiva Keshavan told NNIS Sports in an exclusive chat that it was very disheartening to see how the wrestlers' protest had been allowed to drift to such a low point. Shiva Keshavan said, "I can only say that my thoughts are with all the athletes who are suffering because of this. And I hope that in the interest of not just the respect of our athletes, but also in the interest of the future of our country, in a sport in which we are doing well internationally, that we resolve the issue and move on." India's most famous wrestlers, including SakshiMalik, VineshPhogat, and BajrangPunia, have come together to protest against Brij Bhushan, the president of Wrestling Federation of India, for alleged sexual harassment.
Well, it's very hard to say. It's very hard to see. It's very disheartening to see the situation reach to this point. Um, I can only say that my thoughts are with all the athletes who are suffering because of this, and I hope that in the interest of not just the respect of our athletes, but also in the interest of the future of our country in a sport in which we are doing well internationally, uh, that we resolve this issue and move on. So the effects of this don't last longer, and we use this situation as as a reminder that we need to set up proper systems in place, and that in the future these things don't happen. Now, what has happened in the past has happened, but we have to look to use this as a learning for the future.
Keshavan was of the viewpoint this protest should be contained and properly dealt with, or else it would impact the sport of wrestling, where India has done so well internationally.
Well, you see, it's wrestling has been a sport that has brought us a lot of international glory. We have medals at the highest level of international sport. So these people are the national heroes. So whatever is happening right now in wrestling is going to affect not only the people, the champions who are not training right now, who are protesting on the streets. It's going to impact in the future also. So this is what is very concerning from overall from a sports point of view. So I think we need to ensure that it's contained, and it can only be contained if we take action and we get over this impasse right now.
Besides the legal angle involved in the complaint against Brij Bhushan, the focus should also be on protecting females in sport from any kind of sexual harassment.
You see, it's an extremely sensitive matter. I think I've thought about this a lot, and one thing is our feelings as athletes, and it's easy, of course, to point fingers to IOA and everything. But there are two things in this. I think one is the legal issue, and the legal issue should go on as per law. And that is not something that has to do with sport. What we can do as a community is stand behind our people, our athletes, our champions, right? Because they deserve that respect and that trust from us. Second is the sport issue, that how is this impacting sports in the future, all right? And there is where we have to be active. We have to be more active. We have to put systems in place so that this doesn't happen elsewhere. Let me be clear. This is not just an India issue. This is happening all over the world. Times are changing. There is a equal, level playing field is expected for men, women. Safety, protection against harassment, protection from power. All these things are expected in today's world. So all these things might not have been there 50 years ago, 40 years ago, even 10 years ago. But we have to move with the times, and we have to understand that only if we put proper systems in place, other people in India, families, parents will be comfortable to put their daughters in sports and let them go and represent the country. So we have to make an environment that is conducive from sport, and I think that needs to be our focus of our sports administration. But I also must say that the fact that this issue is coming out now can be also seen as a positive thing. In the past, see, I refuse to believe that this is the first time it's happening in the history of our sport, right? But it's the first time we are speaking about it. So that is a start, right? So now we have a new organization, we have a new IOA, there are many athletes, we can understand the athletes' problems. So use this to show some leadership and use this to, you know, take some concrete steps. Because if we don't do, it's not going to solve on its own.
When NNIS Sports asked him about any contact with the protesting wrestlers, Keshavan said,
Well, we keep on speaking to members of our community as an athlete representative. I don't want to take anybody's name, and I don't have any direct, involvement in the protests of the people. So no, I won't put it at an individual level, but within the community, athletes we keep on speaking, and there is this sense of concern throughout the community.
this was his advice to the superstars of wrestling.
Well, I mean, they are big champions. They've dedicated their full lives to the country. So, what advice can I have for them? I can only give them my solidarity. Um, I understand that they're going through a very difficult time personally, professionally, as part of their sport. It's not easy for a young person. So, I just like to tell them that we are with you as athletes. We'll support you as athletes from India, and hopefully the community, not just the athlete community, but the wider community in the country, starts to give more respect to the athletes. That's something that I would say.
But he did not comment directly on the likely action against Bhushan.
See, I don't think I'm the right person to give a comment on that exactly. But what I can see and what I can say is that this outpouring of issues on the streets shows that the other channels have not worked. So my point of view is, let's strengthen those channels. You know, Obviously it's an issue which has become extremely complicated, and I don't think the question of his resignation is there anymore because he's out. He's already been uh, he's already been suspended. So, but yes, he's a powerful person, and I'm sure many young athletes will be feeling intimidated. But that is not something that I think I should comment on as an athlete. Well, they are Olympic champions who are there. They are the top athletes of the country which are over there. Slowly, more people are coming out speaking about it, and it is good because I think this can happen to anybody, and we all know that these are issues in any society. The times are changing. Zamana badal raha hai. Abhi hame we have to give equal rights, equal opportunities. Human rights. These are all things that change in our society. And so what is happening over there can happen elsewhere also. So we have to come together for the key issues. And it's not about speaking against somebody. ये किसी individual के खिलाफ नहीं है, ये किसी political party के खिलाफ नहीं है. ये मतलब सच्चाई के लिए है, ये justice के लिए है. So let's look at that, right? Because हम लोग जब खिलाड़ी होते हुए हम लोग देश को represent करने जा रहे हैं, हम A, B, C को represent करने के लिए नहीं जा रहे हैं. हम इंडिया तिरंगे के लिए कर रहे हैं. So I think that's why athletes should have that global kind of universal connect. So that's why I think that autonomy of sport is very important. And sports and politics, politicians and sports, politicians running sports bodies, it complicates things. It's clear.
BajrangPunia, SakshiMalik and VineshPhogat, who went to Haridwar to immerse their medals in the Ganga river, but later did a rethink, Keshavan said.
You see, you have to see कि इस मूव का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है. एक एथलीट के लिए मेडल और एक एथलीट के लिए ओलंपिक मेडल बहुत बड़ी चीज होती है. मतलब पूरी जिंदगी की
कमाई
एफर्ट्स और पूरी जिंदगी का जो मिशन है एथलीट्स का, वो ओलंपिक मेडल ले आना, वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप मेडल ले आना, और वो सिंबल रहता है कि हमारे स्ट्रगल का सिंबल, राइट? सो इफ एथलीट्स कैन रीच टू दैट पॉइंट, so it shows that there's not many options left, right? So I completely agree with our senior colleagues from cricket, from the 83 team. The 1983 cricket team, they united the full country.
Correct.
Right? Because they elevated our country to a certain level. And the same thing all the other athletes are also trying to do, right? So I appreciate our seniors comments on this, because they understand the importance of these medals, right? So I hope that even their support in this matter helps to find a quick solution.